Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bad Marketing YouTube channel. My name is Brad, and one of the questions I get most here as an Amazon account manager managing millions of dollars of revenue every month is about reviews, whether it's product reviews or seller reviews. And these are obviously the most important figures in the Amazon business. And so I wanted to go through here in this video and talk a little bit about the differences between seller reviews and product reviews, how we can get more of them, and why they're important. So I'm just going to start here with one of our clients. You can see they have a very successful brand that sells salt on Amazon. So obviously first, product reviews right here underneath the title. Really what I would consider to be probably the most important figure on any Amazon listing is how many reviews you have compared to your competition and how good are those reviews. That's going to keep you successful in the long term, no matter what Amazon changes about the platform, how they might change how you can advertise on the platform. If you've got good reviews and a lot of them compared to your competitors, you're always going to convert. So you can find those there, and obviously we can look at those in closer detail by clicking on that. If you want to find the seller review, which is a different figure, a little bit tougher to find, but down here in your purchasing bar, you can see sold by, and then in this case the parent company is called. And here's where you can find any brand's seller reviews. And interestingly enough, as a customer on Amazon, you can leave a product review for any product you would like. You don't have to have purchased or anything like that to leave a product review. You do need to have purchased one of their products to leave one of these seller reviews, because the difference is pretty important. When you leave when you get as a seller a product review, that review is specifically on that particular product or series of products, right? But if you receive a seller review, that's a review of like your service. So how fast you shipped it, how did it come packaged, was it working properly when it arrived, things like that. So the big key difference is on the product review, it's on how well the product functions. Did it last a long time? Did it do as it was intended? And really, does it meet the expectations that you set in these images? For example, on this product, we're saying it's high in minerals and trace elements. It's good for cooking and baking. And if you get it home and you try and bake with it and it messes up your pie, like, they're going to leave a bad review on that. But if they go to ship it and it arrives in a box and it's all over the place, they're going to leave you a bad seller review. So now that kind of the definitions are out of the way, we can go into, as a seller, what does that look like? So we can start here in the customer service insights. And so this is on the back end of an Amazon listing. And you can see here your different feedback reviews over the last 365 days. Any seller review will only last you 365 days. And then it gets essentially wiped off of what your current overall review feedback rating is. And it's very critical to keep that feedback rating over 4.0 stars. Obviously you want it to be as high as possible, but you really start to see functionality drop off with being able to participate in sales events like Prime Day or Black Friday. When you have a low feedback rating, lower than 4, it'll restrict you from being able to participate. They want to make sure that all the brands that are participating in these events are reliable and have a history of being able to come through for their customers. So, bad reviews that come through from the seller perspective, it's not all bad here. So what we can do, for example, you can see in this customer service insights section, you can see all the seller reviews you get, and most of them are going to be great. The best way to get good seller reviews is by selling on FBA. So you ship your product into the Amazon warehouse, and then when the orders are placed, Amazon picks and pulls and puts the address label on and ships it out with their box. Within 2 days, the customer's always going to be happy, so you're going to get great seller reviews, because from their perspective, they ordered it, it arrived the next day in great packaging, didn't break, and they're with free shipping, and they're very happy about that. So there's nothing to leave bad reviews about. And so for the most part, when you're an FBA seller, you're going to have great reviews. But every once in a while, like in the case of this, there's going to be one bad review that says no nutritional values can come through, can't find out what the product is made. A lot of these are just due to user error. So then you can go through in this section and you can either contact the customer and say, hey, this is the policy we have. You can post a public reply so that other people looking at this say that it was a user error or something like that. But you can always just request the removal, and I'd suggest you do that for every bad review you get. So you go through and just pull down and request a removal, because oftentimes, especially on the seller review side, and we'll pull this one up as an example for a different client here, that had a bad rating like this, product leaked out of the package, I'm blaming the Amazon driver. And so anytime that happens when you're an FBA seller, you can go through and click that button, request removal, and almost immediately, like we've seen always in the same day, when it's one like that, you'll get a message from Amazon. This item is fulfilled by Amazon. It was an FBA product, and so we take responsibility for this experience. Your 1-star rating will get slashed from your rating, and it'll go back up. So these can obviously be very, very impactful to your business. So it's very important to stay on top of this, and on a daily, weekly basis, depending on how many ratings you're getting back, just go through and request those removals on every bad rating you get. And if it doesn't come through, you can always go through and contact the customer and try and make it right on a one-on-one basis. Leave a public note so that other people seeing it don't think that you're not engaged, and that's the best way to impact those moving forward. Next up, we're going to talk about the product reviews that come through. It's a very similar section here. It's in the custom review section of the Amazon Seller Central. We're down in brands, customer reviews here. And so here you can see all the reviews that have come through recently for you. The best way to get more product reviews legally on Amazon, it's very strict. So there's one very easy way to go through for new sellers and get a product review. And that's by going into your order details for any, so we'll go just into a random order for this client. You have to wait 5 days from when it arrives, and after 5 days, in the order details section, this little button pops up that says request a review. So you'll be able to go in and hit this button, and for this one, it's not coming up right because we have it automated. And so that was the next thing I was going to say. You go through and you click this button, and that'll send an email out from Amazon to that customer, and that it'll say, hey, you've recently received this product. Click this link and tell us your feedback on this product. And obviously, going through, say you've got a brand that sells 100 units a day. To go through and pull up every order, click this button after 5 days and have it go through, do that manually is not a great way to be spending your time. So there are a lot of tools out there that, like in Helium 10, Merchant Spring, there's one that's called Feedback Whiz, that will go in and automatically, after you can set the certain amount of time, anything after 5 days, it'll go in and push this button for you. A robot will go in and do it for all your orders, and that's the best way to legally and within the confines of the rules ping Amazon customers for a product review. It's not against terms. It's not with terms of service to go in and contact these people normally. They don't even give you their real email address. It all gets sent through the Amazon system. So using one of those tools is the best, most legal way to bounce your feedback rating percentage from 1 to 2.5 or 2%. It's very low. It's very tough. And so what some people do when we want to talk about bending the rules a little bit, I've got here is something I received recently in a product I bought on Amazon. It came in the box, and you open up the box, and then it has the manual and everything like that. But inside the manual was this like trading card, gold card, right? And inside the trading card sleeve is To be clear, this is against the rules. If you were found with one of these cards trying to get reviews and paying, so what this does is it says, hey, leave a review of this product, take a screenshot and email it to this bogus email address, and we'll send you, we'll PayPal you $30, or we'll give you a Starbucks gift card or something. They even have the Amazon logo on here. So this is very much what not to do. There is a version of this that if, say, we talked before about FBA. If you're selling FBM, shipping directly from your warehouse to the end client and cutting Amazon out of it, it would be much harder for them to find something like this, right? And if you're just a new product launching on Amazon for the first time, you're looking for your first reviews, that would be a good way to get away with it. You're not selling very many of them. You're able to control that in and out, whether, you're not doing it, you don't have to make 10,000 units all with the thing in it. You can maybe put it in with the first 100 or 200 you get, and you get a great, obviously if you're incentivizing people to place product reviews, that'd be a great way to do it. You got to be able to do that smart, and there's tons of other, if you want to look up, I'm sure there's tons of other resources on the internet that will tell you all about that. But because I do not endorse doing bending the rules like that, I won't discuss it further here. The last thing I'd like to be able to have you look at from a seller's perspective is something that you should always be looking at, the voice of the customer. So in again, on Amazon, Seller Central, Performance, Voice of the Customer. This is a new-ish module in Amazon that will kind of put everything in a good spot for you to be able to see where you can improve. Because when people leave you reviews, that's almost now and moving forward into an AI era in Amazon. When people leave you a review, good or bad, and the words they use, those are the terms that are getting indexed into when people are searching now. So it's very important to go in and read the negative reviews and the negative seller reviews that come in, and Voice of the Customer broken down by product here is going to be the best spot to see when people are upset with your product, what are those things? And you can then take that advice and plug it into your listing moving forward. Set expectations maybe lower. Maybe people had a higher expectation of a certain taste or flavor, or maybe the color wasn't as vibrant in person as of the shirt as it was in your Amazon listing. So maybe adjust those because people are expecting a different color. These are all things that will pop up in here invariably, that then you can take that feedback and implement it in your listing so that you improve your conversion rate, your click-through rate, and in the end, your seller and product reviews moving forward. So definitely take advantage of that voice of the customer on Amazon. Just a quick recap of everything. Product reviews on Amazon, those are about your product. And seller reviews, those are about the service of the shipping and everything surrounding how the product arrived and their buying experience on Amazon. So as long as you focus on great customer experiences and good follow-ups when the negative reviews come in, you'll build trust with the customer, you'll rank higher and grow faster as a whole on Amazon. If you did find this video helpful at all, just go ahead and leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel so we can keep making more videos like this. And if you want me to make videos on different topics on Amazon, I can definitely do that. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.